Hello, this is Geo12MP with another Halo Mega Bloks review. This is set number 97450, Wireless Attack Mantis. This set has 120 pieces, and its retail price is about $60. It includes the Mantis itself, a wireless controller, and a single minifigure. So, let's first take a look at the single minifigure. This is officially the Master Chief, and he has the Halo 4 version of Mark 6 armor. And the armor is interchangeable with other Spartans. And he has the new articulation as well for Halo Mega Bloks UNSC minifigures. He has a gold painted visor, a little bit of black paint on his chest armor, and of course he has his black assault rifle. And I believe this may be the best Master Chief minifigure that Mega Bloks has produced. And I'll just show you how he can pose. So, as you can see, you can make him pose quite nicely with that assault rifle with the new articulation. And so that does it for the minifigure. Now, let's take a look at the Mantis. As you can see, it towers over a minifigure. It stands at about 9 inches tall. Here on top of the head is the receiver for the infrared remote control. But first, we need to turn the Mantis on. So, to turn the Mantis on, we need to spin it around and then switch this little on-off switch on the back. Then, to activate the Mantis, we need to press this button carefully hidden on the front. As you can see, we get some activating lights and sounds. And from here on, we use the remote control to control it. As you can see, there's a little UNSC logo on it, and as you press different buttons, you'll see it light up. There's also some studs on the control, and this is an Xbox-inspired controller. The infrared signal comes out of this little place right here. This button I just hit right here is the down button for the head, and this is the up button. This is the left button. This is the right button. These are used for controlling the head of the Mantis. So I press the up button, the head goes up, and it can go up that far. Press the down button, the head goes down, can go down that far. Then I press it up quickly, and I can get it to level with the ground. Then I press the left button to turn the head to its left, Mantis's left, and it can go that far. Then the right button to turn the Mantis to its right, and it can go that far. Then we use these colored buttons on the right hand side of the control here, the yellow, the green, the blue, and the red, to represent X, Y, A, and B buttons on an Xbox controller. These are actually removable pieces, and they came separately. They're rounded and smooth, and that's pretty nice. They aren't actually printed or stickered with X, Y, A, and B labels. So the yellow button here activates a stomping sound when you press it once. If you press it twice, it gives just a regular walking sound and some lights to go with it. Then the blue button turns on the headlights and turns them off when you press it once. Then when you press the blue button twice, quickly, it turns on that center light, and then press it once again to turn it off. The green button, that activates the machine gun on the right-hand arm of the Mantis. And so I just held it down to fire the machine gun, to fire multiple rounds from the machine gun. It doesn't actually fire any projectiles, but it does give some nice lights and movements to go with it. I'll give you a closer view of that. So as you can see, this outer shell here is moving forward and backward, actually backward and forward, and then 4 LED lights are in sequence turning on and then off when I hold down the green button to make it look like it's somewhat of a Gatling gun firing. Now, if you press the green button once and release it quickly, it just fires off one shot from the machine gun. And so that about does it for that feature. Now moving on to the final button. Now, using the red button on the controller, I can fire off these rockets. And these are projectiles. They do fire, and you can shoot down other things such as minifigures or whatever you choose. And if I press the red button once and release it, it fires off one rocket. If I press the button and hold it down, it fires off all 5 rockets. And then gives a reloading sound at the end. Now you may have noticed that when I fired off all 5 rockets, it gave a firing sound for each rocket. I have noticed a problem commonly that when I fire the rockets in single shot mode, it does not accompany each rocket with a sound as it should. Now, this set only has 120 pieces, so that is kind of odd for a set of this size. Well, the reason is that it is comprised of primarily 5 fairly large pieces. For example, the feet are each one piece with just a few additional pieces, as well as the legs. The torso with the head is also one pre-made assembly with a few pieces added onto it. There are several printed pieces on the Mantis. For example, a couple of printed tile pieces on the tops of each leg, a UNSC logo on the torso area, a UNSC logo on the sides of the head, and some red markings toward the top of the head. Also on top of the head there's another UNSC logo printed on an opening cockpit canopy that allows you to place a minifigure inside, where he gets a comfy seat with a couple of simulated control levers and a simulated control panel up in front. Now, in addition to the articulation at the neck, there is some manual articulation down here at the hips and the ankles. Now, there are a couple of axes of ratcheting joints at both the hips and the ankles. Actually, at the ankles there is a slight hinge joint so that the feet are always flat on the ground, as well as a forward and backward ratcheting joint at the ankle. And it does allow you to, get somewhat of a walking pose when you get everything lined just right and balanced just right, like so. And then also up here at the head, these arms can pivot in and pivot out a little ways on either side. So that about finishes it up for this review of a pretty massive set. One last detail that I forgot to mention was that there is an instructions sheet that was included with the set that describes how to solve a problem that they assume will occur. And that problem is that when you're activating the rotation at the head joint using the remote control, that when you turn it all the way to one side or the other side, it will get stuck. And the way you solve that is by manually notching the head to one side, to the opposite side, and then it'll get unstuck. So that's a problem that I haven't experienced very much. I believe only once have I experienced that one. The problem with the discoordination with the rocket firing sounds and the actual firing of the rockets, that problem I've noticed much more commonly with the product that I have here. But despite those minor problems, it's really quite a nice set. It's a fun toy to play with. I've had fun shooting at minifigures on the ground with the rockets and also the machine gun. I really like the action of the machine gun, and the remote control feature is nice. And I really like that Master Chief minifigure that they included. That's really quite nice. And yeah, so not much of a building experience, but that's alright, you know. I understand, because they had to make it strong enough to be able to withstand its own weight. One last detail, actually, the batteries that it takes a total of 5 AAA batteries. 2 are inserted into the bottom of the Mantis, and 2 are inserted into the back of the remote control. Now, you need a Phillips head screwdriver to access those compartments. I've used these first 5 that I've installed for quite a while, and they seem to be holding up quite well. And that about does it for this review. If you like it, if you like this review, please give a thumbs up down below, or if you didn't like it, give a thumbs down, and go to my channel to see more reviews of Halo Mega Bloks sets from me. That's about it. So this is Geo12MP. Thanks for watching.